Well, Doctor, let's get right into it. I feel like I'm used to seeing you on TV, but great to see you in person.
Good to see you, too.
But let's address this recent exchange you had with Congresswoman Nancy Mace when you were debating, or you're clashing over her repeated mispronunciation of the vice president's name.
Right.
I think we have the clip.
Kamala's.
Oh, you had it right. You almost got it.
I will say Kamala's name any way that I want to.
When you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
Oh, so now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't
Yes,
racist.
that is complete.
You don't have to.
Kamala Harris. If I were a man,
You said
I
we
will
don't
say
call you Nancy
any way that I
Nancy.
want.
So because we live in the crazy year of 2024, she then later accused you of sending her flirty texts, which she entered into the congressional record.
All right, we are with the brain-dead harpies of The View today, whose guest is notable philanderer and predator Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, and, his main claim to fame is, of course, he's a notable race grifter. Been doing this for decades. He's all over the place, and it's oppression with him. It's oppression all day, every day, you know. And you're going to hear more about it here. That clip they showed where he was correcting Kamala Harris's name. Yeah, fair enough. I don't know what that congresswoman was on about, why she kept mispronouncing it on purpose. It's a bit dumb. But I do like this. Apparently he did send her, afterwards, he did send her, this picture, or there was a picture taken of them together, as you can see there, and then he wrote some slightly flirty comments back to her about that. After their exchange, their somewhat heated exchange. So yeah, he always likes to, he's a bit of a chancer. He likes to try it on with the ladies, but his main claim to fame, as far as I know, is just a non-stop race grifter. Oh, and a serious synonym enjoyer, thesaurus enjoyer. He likes to use a lot of big words when he speaks. Let's hear what they have to say.
Can you clear this up for us, Professor?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it's great to be here with you wonderful women.
Yes.
The thing is that, let's look at a little background. I'm a preacher, so I know sin, my own and others, right? Nobody's perfect. I saw Whoopi yesterday talk about the fact, in regard to Janet Jackson, people make mistakes, and we have to acknowledge that. Number two, as a professor, I've seen things evolve over space and time. What you could say 20 years ago, can't say today.
No. Yeah.
Not because you're suddenly wrong, but the temper of the times has changed.
Right.
So if you acknowledge a woman's beauty that is a power imbalance, there's a problem there. But peer-to-peer, a different story. Still cautious, but different. And then thirdly, let's look at the politics. We're living in a toxic culture where there's a cancel culture gotcha. We're not trying to elevate, we're trying to eviscerate. So when it comes to Nancy Mace, you see I tried to be nice to the woman. I said, you're a wonderful woman. I lied. I then said, but I tried to be nice to her. And then even when I pointed out to her what the repetition of the misnaming of Kamala Harris would do, she got defensive. Oh, you're calling me a racist. No.
And you never did. I
never did.
Yeah.
I think Shakespeare said the lady doth protest too much. Or in the hood, we say a hit dog will holler. So the point is that this woman has now depended upon, like her inspiration, Donald Trump, a racist trope. The black brute seeks the innocent white woman, and now I'm seeking lasciviously to approach her. I didn't call her names. I acknowledge her humanity. And I'll say one final thing to all of these white Christians, and she's one of them. The Bible says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and turn their face to God and turn away from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and then I will forgive their sins and I will heal the land. They have not forgiven themselves. White Christians hate themselves for the past wrongs that have been done, and I'm here as a loving Christian to say, let's grapple with that past, acknowledge the historic legacy of supremacy, don't deny it, don't erase it, don't eviscerate it, don't remove it from the history books, confront it, and then when you forgive yourselves, we can go forward. I am a human being. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. Have I said the wrong thing to people that I wish I could take back? Absolutely. But I am a child of God, and that means I don't have to be perfect to be useful, and I don't have to be unflawed to shine brightly.
All right, then.
Oh, I always love The View and their audience of clapping seals. And you see what I mean about this guy. Yeah, he's he's a good speaker, good orator, but yeah, the race grift just started right up, And what's all this about, white Christians hating themselves? Well, maybe some do. I certainly don't. And, a lot of bad things have happened in the past in every culture, every country, every continent, throughout time. People conquer people, one people conquers another people. All sorts of things happen. So anyone who's feeling supposedly hating themselves for sins of their fathers or their forefathers is just crazy and shouldn't, as far as I'm concerned. But it's all grist to the mill for this guy. It's just he's made a living out of it.
So, don't mess around with the preacher, okay? Let's move on to the presidential election, because so much has happened in the past 2 months. President Biden bowed out, 2 assassination attempts on Trump, a whole lot of crazy about cats and dogs. And with just 41 days to go, how are you feeling about the state of this race? Are you following the polls? Do you feel encouraged? What do you say?
Yeah, look, I was a Joe Biden man to the end. It could be Weekend at Bernie's. I would wheel him out and let's have him on the record, right?
That's what I say.
I love that man.
Yeah.
He is one of the most compassionate, beautiful human beings you can ever meet. However, or as James Brown would say, howsoever, now we got Kamala Harris, and it's got to be a surprise to her how great she's been. Like, can you imagine waking up and going like, I knew I was cold. I knew I was bad, but I didn't know I was that bad. And that you raised $200 million in a couple of days. You galvanized people. And look, she's reached across the aisle. You know where I was when I heard about the first attempt on the ex-president's life? At a George Strait concert. 47,065 people in Detroit, 5 of whom were black. And when I go out to a George Strait concert, I stop and I talk. People are amazed that I'm there. We begin to discourse because I believe in reaching out to the other side, which is what Nancy Mace failed to see. I am not a Lothario. I am a therapist of the soul trying to bring healing to people's lives and minds. And I think that, look, this election is tight. I think Kamala Harris is a superior woman. I think she is a superior candidate. She is not petty. This man is an orange apparition who is proud to be unmolested by enlightenment.
That was actually a nice one there. But this bringing healing to the soul, oh my God. Can you believe the balls on this guy? I think he believes himself after all these years, but just an utter grifter. And of course, the Yentas here at The View are lapping it up, and their trained seals in the
The
audience.
nerve to call Kamala Harris dumb. He is the very definition of unintelligence in this country.
Let me try to squeeze this in. Well said. Republicans are right now dealing with the fallout over North Carolina's lieutenant governor and gubernatorial candidate Mark Robinson, allegedly calling himself a black Nazi. Among dozens of other reprehensible comments, Robinson is denying making on a porn site. Now, this is a guy President Trump once called Martin Luther King on steroids. What do you make of this?
What did Lloyd Benson say to Dan Quayle? I knew Jack Kennedy. Sir, you're no Jack Kennedy. I've written 2 books on Dr. King. Bro, Robinson, you ain't no Martin Luther King Jr. If Dr. King had a dream, you are a nightmare. This is white supremacy by ventriloquism. Black mouth moving, white supremacist ideas coming out. And I think that he needs to debate Kamala Harris. I ain't seen no Haitians eating no dogs and cats, but I saw a black woman eating a white ass on television.
Right. Well, he's very good with the rhetoric. I'll give him that. And the rhetoric is what counts for libtard view. The libtard audience at The View, the progressives, the women there on The View and their audience, and progressives in general. Liberals, basically, leftism is driven by emotion. It's what it's all about. And often those emotions, they can be, in some cases, often kind of base emotions like envy and jealousy. So, yeah, this guy, he plays on it, to his credit. He knows how to work the system. And he knows how to talk to his audience, and he loves pandering to them, and he loves claiming oppression, even though he's obviously done very well for himself. This system, this oppression that he and his people are laboring under is what's giving him a very good lifestyle, apparently. Anyway, that's enough of these clowns. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Really helps me grow the channel, helps me to continue making more content like this.